style, you know.
Yeah, this is becoming the 4 Nerds style thing, right? that's the deal, right? Like that's how we roll. That's
I mean, that's how it's been going lately. So I mean, you obviously got to start off late night pool with this,
right.
What do you gotta do to get comics around this place? One side, Red. Hey, what the hell's going on here?
I was warned about you. Take it easy before I have you removed from the
Warned? What the fuck are you talking about?
Tell him, Steve Dave.
Fuck you, fanboy!
You two testosterone-seething He-Man comic book fans finish up with this display of tough guy back and forth. I got some questions I need answered.
Look, who's in there?
You gotta ask me nicely.
Fuck!
Brody, get the hell off.
Come on, you fuckers think that just because a guy reads comics he can't start some shit? I'll fucking take all you want!
and that is Phil every day at the comic shop.
That
Yo.
was Phil at the comic book shop. Emphasis on was. Hello, everybody.
Let's move over here. There you go, in the host spot now. There we go.
Cheers! Happy Saturday night.
Nice. Fancy drinking. Got me some water.
You know what? I'm just gonna put it right there. Thank you everyone for tuning in. How you doing, Dawson? It's been a couple weeks since we've last had a chat.
Yeah, I mean, we just were both tired last week, and I've been doing good. I actually just got back from my parents' place, well, my dad's place right now, because my mom's in Florida with my brother and my sister. So she's down there for a bit, and so it was just my dad, my younger brother. Sorry, I'm tired. Dad and younger brother that I visited this weekend, which is really nice. You know, we watched some movies, watched The Hobbit for the first time in a long time. Hadn't seen that since it came out, actually.
I'm sorry.
I actually enjoy it quite a bit. Overuse of CGI to the big extreme, but you know, it's fun.
I mean, hey, I recognized a long time ago. I'm in the minority when it comes to Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, things like that. Those movies. I was brought to seeing them as a child, and it was not for me. As a matter of fact, the only peak of me really enjoying those films was seeing the end fight at in Two Towers.
Yeah,
that's about as much as I enjoyed Lord of the Rings.
We were very much Lord of the Rings kids growing up. In fact, my dad got us this whole set of like miniatures of pretty much like every character that's featured in the Lord of the Rings movies. And they're like this tall, and like we got home and he had set up this entire epic battle scene of all the different characters, including Sauron, Saruman, Gandalf, like everybody. It was freaking intense. I've loved that. We had those toys forever. Don't know whatever happened to them. But
speaking of number 4, this is the 4 Nerds Network. This is the late night poll. I am Phil. This is Dawson, as you all know. Like and subscribe to 4 Nerds Network. Like and subscribe to Nerd in Many Ways. Like and subscribe to the ACS Universe Nicotina Show, and of course Zebra Fett.
I mean, you can kind of ignore Zebra Fett a little bit and just subscribe to that guy, I guess, because
you guys can keep on doing that. Who else we got in the chat here? We got TW McKay.
What's up, TW?
The show. So the title of the episode is called The Final Poll, and we will address that later on.
Yeah,
there are things that are happening, and
let's just say yes and no.
Yes and no. We got Sickness in the chat. That was dope. Probably referring to the intro. That's right. We got Nerdy Cosa Nostra. What's up, dude? How you doing? Dude, I love Mallrats too. Mallrats is the absolute shit. ACS, we know you're in the chat, man. How's it going? Keep the fire high. Here we are. Watched Extended Fellowship with my dad. Never saw the Extended with my dad. Hadn't seen it. It was great. From a guy who's not a fan to you guys who are fans, thumbs up and sincerely.
Nice.
We got Rage 34.
We got Raging.
Do I see? Are those the Raiders? You know they lost.
No, right? that's Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay. Oh, even worse. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh man. Oh, Marcus Cruz. Hey Phil, hope the rumor is true. Please be what rumor is true. Please be. I don't know what rumor you're referring to, Marcus.
We do not
know. But yeah, you know, this is the final poll of the late night poll, and to just kind of get that part of it out of the way real quick. Yeah, this is going to be the final late night poll because I no longer work at a comic book store. I have since resigned from my position. It just wasn't my bag. There was just certain things happening there that I just
it wasn't your bag and board.
Bingo. There you go. So I'm now just back to my one full-time job during the day, and I'll just be back home, around 2, 3 o'clock, whatever. Still trying to find another place to live, doing my thing. Chicken wang. But that does not mean that I'm going to be off the network, and we'll address that later. But yeah, we still have some comics and stuff that we're going to talk about. There's still some super duper cool shit that we're definitely going to address and talk about tonight, depending on how long this goes. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be back with my boy Dawson, and I'm sorry Austin couldn't be here. I don't know where the fuck he is.
Yeah, man, no, it's good to be here. I mean, I missed talking about comics last week. I don't have a lot of opportunity to like talk about the comics that I get every week. So of course I have some stockpiled things going on here because as a lot of people saw on social media, like the weekend before, I guess last weekend was my 25th birthday. So obviously I got to do a lot of shopping with me and my wife. And
birthday, by the way,
oh, thank you, much appreciated. So I do have some fun stuff to show off today, as of course you do as well.
Funny enough, speaking of birthdays, your birthday was last Sunday,
yeah.
So my birthday is this upcoming Wednesday, the 19th, and I got to take yesterday, Friday off, and I get Monday off because of the holiday. So I've had a nice little 4-day weekend.
Nice. Yeah, I should be getting a 3-day weekend because it's supposed to snow a crap ton here tomorrow, and so I got Monday off, which is super nice. But then I now have to work on Saturday, which is like
Marcus Cruz. That Moon Knight trailer looks already better than Peacemaker.
Dude, Moon Knight looks awesome. I'm not even gonna lie.
I can't disagree. I'm a huge fan of Oscar Isaac. I like him as an actor a lot. I think he's a really great choice for the character that they've decided to stick him in the MCU. Mm-hmm. So I guess stick him in really isn't the right way to say that. I guess, he's honored to play that role, and it's going to be really cool to see that character, come to fruition in live action. So, yeah, I'm excited for that show. It looks to be a lot different than anything else that they've done, both on Disney Plus and even just in the MCU prior. So,
yeah,
I'm down.
And honestly, like the MCU shows that have come out on Disney Plus, none of them have been awful yet. There've been something kind of so, but like they've all at least decently measured up. So,
which one's your favorite?
So far, I would have to say Loki.
Same.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the most.
We've talked about this before, but
probably. I mean, WandaVision was intriguing at first, so that's the second.
Lost steam by like episode 8 or 9, I would say.
Yeah, Hawkeye. I still have yet to finish. I still need to finish Hawkeye. I know I've heard a lot of things about what people's opinions.
What episode are you on?
I still have to watch episode 3.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so you're okay.
A little behind.
Got it.
But everything else that is, as far as like Disney Plus MCU shows that have come out, I've been like, not bad. Keep it up. So
like even What If, I was like super mad on What If.
What If, dude? I enjoyed What If immensely, actually.
I like things in What If, but I don't think it was like, the sauce. You know what I mean? Like the sauce to me was Loki. I loved everything about Loki. I like that there was like kind of a backdoor entrance to the introduction of Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
That to me was just I kind of wondered if that was going to be the case because of the things that were implied with Loki. And I'm really happy that did turn out to be the case as opposed to WandaVision. There was a lot of like false hype there. Oh, it's Mephisto. It's Mephisto. It's Mephisto. It's like, no, it's Ralph Boner.
I kept telling people Pietro Paperboy. That's what I kept on saying.
I will say though, like given the movie that we're getting in May with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, though,
anything goes. Honestly,
anything goes. Right. I suppose this snow a crap ton here as well. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they're probably getting the same snowstorm we are down in Georgia. Yeah. Let's see here. I haven't read much. Upcoming Moon Knight show. I hope the tone is up there with Daredevil. Same. I
would imagine it might be.
Yeah, I mean brutal and great violence. I would love it if they got the same fight choreography they had for the first season of Daredevil. Because that'd
be saucy.
That'd be great.
She-Hulk, I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Especially that still of Mark Ruffalo's Hulk just like standing there like he's a child in basketball shorts or something. Like, dude.
Okay. Phil, I saw someone on Twitter said the Peacemaker was better than Loki, WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier. Okay. Look, if someone has a preference and they honest to God think 3 episodes of Peacemaker just absolutely topples, Loki, WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, then, cool. They've got an obvious preference there, DC to Marvel. By that same token, I would also say that person probably has a preference for things that are just, what's the right word here, Dawson? Because I've watched the first 2 episodes of Peacemaker. I know I said I wouldn't, but due diligence, my friends.
You've done more than I have.
I had to, just because to completely reinforce why I shouldn't. And I'm glad I did, because the second episode just it does something with Vigilante, and I'm kind of a fan of that character because I'm a huge Marv Wolfman fan, as I've made known on this show, as I've made known on other shows. Like, he's just like one of my favorite writers, and like his creations to me, like they mean a lot. And to see what James Gunn did with the version of the Vigilante that they've done is just like, I'm kind of disappointed. I'm not going to sit here and be all butter. I'm not going to sit here and, hold a torch and be like, F you, James Gunn. I'm just like, that's not my bag, dude. I mean, good for you for doing something different, but man, I like the character the way he is initially portrayed. Nothing wrong with that. But if you like Peacemaker over Loki, WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, more power to you. Me, on the other hand, I personally still think, like, of the streaming TV shows, TV keywords there, I think as of right now, as it stands, I think Loki still kind of has the crown, personally.
Yeah, there was no severely weak episode of Loki, in my personal opinion.
And like, even episode 3 had like moments of like, they were slow, but even still, like, the show knocked it out of the park, in my opinion. And I'm glad it's getting a second season.
Yeah. And I like I said on Four Nerds this Thursday, I can't really say anything about Peacemaker because I haven't watched it and I don't really plan on watching it. But
I will say that the show that kind of kickstarted it in a lot of weird ways, I would argue, would probably be Watchmen.
Interesting.
Because Watchmen is a contained 9-episode story that is very much in the same kind of vein that the book was in 1986. And there's not a bad episode in my opinion. I don't know if you've watched it.
I didn't have the chance to yet, but I do plan on watching it for sure.
Damon Lindelof essentially takes the premise of like Watchmen and amplifies it in a story that takes place, in a modern society, but like in a modern Watchmen world where things of that world happened, right? But the cool thing is like there are very, very clear visual homages to things that you would probably guess were in the Zack Snyder film. So he does a really great job of homaging both the comic and what's been presented to people in live action. That way you kind of get the best of both worlds, even though it's not an exact like sequel to one or the other, and if depending on how you feel. There is one thing it does do, like Damon Lindelof makes it abundantly clear, like the squid happened. Yeah. And, obviously that does not happen at the end of the Watchmen film, but even still, like the fact that there are just very strong visual nods to what the movie did, I really appreciate it. I know Damon Lindelof, not personally, but like, I feel like he did that intentionally just to like, not only honor, past cinematic presence, but also just really put his stamp on it, make it really feel kind of familiar, but also at the same time, like, make it feel authentic, because there's a very specific kind of aesthetic and story there to the Watchmen universe.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I've seen some things from the Watchmen show, and I feel like I think what a lot you're saying is pretty accurate as to what they're trying to do and appeal to both sides while not necessarily following up either one. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to watching through it for myself, because I had heard mixed things and I'd seen a lot of mixed things about it, but at the end of the day, it's something I'm interested in, and I got a foreign opinion on my own. So
yeah, we're in an interesting age of like, legacy, sequel, series, streaming, filmmaking, whatever you want to name it. I just walked out of Scream 5 yesterday, which I really enjoyed. I've been a fan of those movies since I was 6. I was exposed to the first film at 6 years old, which I find I don't really have
interesting. I'll just say interesting.
It's a very interesting perspective, because at 6 years old, I saw Scream, I saw Terminator, I saw I think Titanic. I saw a lot of very adult films at a very young age. So my taste for filmmaking has really been quite informed since a very young age. And then as I got older, I saw Star Wars, I saw even in college. Blade Runner, Exorcist. There's just a lot of movies. I'm sure we'll talk more about that towards the end of the show.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
But in the meantime, speaking of Watchmen, the last thing I did get before I stopped working at the comic book store. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
So
that's
freaking
right,
beautiful.
motherfuckers! All 12 issues of Watchmen.
Man, you make me freaking jealous, man. I've been trying to get myself the individual issues for a while. I have the deluxe edition and I have the noir edition. So, but like, I do not have the individual issues. Dude, that's a beautiful cover.
Oh, I know. I got to put it in a board, but this is beautiful. Look, these books. I don't want to sound like one of those guys who just holds Watchmen up on a freaking pedestal, but I remember reading it for the first time in like 11th grade. I was a junior in high school, and this book just I can't really find words for it. It's just like I was just encapsulated by this story. And when I saw the movie, I wasn't necessarily butthurt at like the changes, but I just couldn't help at the fact that like there were things there that were just so accurate, just so pitch perfect, just so iconic and just so homage-y. And to find out like Alan Moore's like, no, that's bullshit. It's not my comic book. It's like, because it's a movie, jackass. What do you expect? Like, okay.
Yeah, that part was really frustrating to me.
Really great writer, but man, he's something else upstairs. But needless to say, like Watchmen to me like holds a very special place in my heart, and I'm really glad I managed to get those books at the price that I did before I stopped working there. But yeah, I'm happy I got those books, man.
Dude, that's freaking sick. It makes me freaking jealous. I also got another.
I don't mean to make you jealous. Just
well, either way, you did. So, but I got an awesome complete run this week. Yeah, be afraid. But I also got an awesome complete run this week, and it's one I've had my eyes on for a while. I have volume 1, like graphic novel volume 1 of this story. But I finally got all the single issues. If I can actually pick this one up, I have no freaking fingernails. But it is DC Rebirth's All-Star Batman. Got all the issues, which I was very excited to get, of course, with Scott Snyder featuring. Yeah, got John Romita Jr. art as well as Jock and as well as Albuquerque, which he does a pretty good job. But the thing I was super excited about is the fact that I got the variant cover of the first issue. I got the foil silver one, which is freaking beautiful. Love the shine. It looks great.
Dawson has all the single issues of this. I'm going to go ahead and whip this out because throughout the rest of this episode, I'm going to be just recommending graphic novels that I've picked up. And this is volume 2 of All-Star Batman and Robin. Scott Snyder, Jock, Francisco Francavilla, Tulote, Giuseppe Camuncoli. Like this story, it's kind of it's interesting in that each chapter has different art and takes place with a different villain.
Yeah.
And it's just wild.
I mean, it's Scott Snyder. You can't go wrong with Scott Snyder. You really can't. No matter if it's for DC Comics or Boom Studios or what's the other one that I have? Image Comics. Regardless, whoever he writes for, whatever he's doing, it's always at least solid. You know, like as well as the Comixology series that he's doing. He's doing a couple of those. And anything he does is just great. I appreciate you stopping by, TW.
Sadly, I got to head out. Sorry the comic book shop didn't work out. Best of luck for whatever you shoot. Thanks, man. Thanks, McKay. Have a good one, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man.
Oh, we got Droga in the chat, man.
What's up, dude?
Hope you're having a good night, day, whatever. I think you're in Australia. I don't know exactly what time it is because my timeline's just all messed up. Also, Scott Snyder, Jock, and Francis Fatilla. I recommend this book because this was actually one of the first books I ever owned, and that is Batman the Black Mirror. And
I have the noir version of that.
This book is a Dick Grayson Batman tale, and it is one of the best ones written, bar none. And I just, again, Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder really made his name with the Batman New 52 run, and I really enjoy most of what he's done. Not all of it, but I've enjoyed a lot of what. Okay, that's really pretty.
Yeah, very pretty.
Superb. It's excellent, sir. Absolutely excellent.
I can actually put this back here. Got to drag my microphone with me.
Tastes amazing.
Oh, there we go. Nice. But yes, no, Scott Snyder honestly is aside from Frank Miller, Scott Snyder is my favorite writer. Again, everything I've read of his is just beautiful and it's just such an interesting idea and concept.
My favorite writer in comics, he doesn't do too much of it anymore, but I do love what he does quite a fair bit. And it got started with a couple books, and those two books are Batman R.I.P.
Oh, yep.
And JLA. I
got Batman Grant Morrison Omnibus Volume 1 for Christmas,
exactly.
which I was very excited for.
A lot of my Batman, like a lot of Batman that I've read, is a lot of Grant Morrison's Batman. I've read Batman R.I.P. I just showed you the trade that I picked up. I've read, Batman the Black Glove. I've read, his entire Batman and Robin run. I have it all in trade paperback form. His Justice League stuff with Howard Porter, John Dell is probably some of the best Justice League comics I can recommend, bar none, because this book is like the spirit of it and the feel of it is very Justice League Unlimited, but even more like it's just that perfect blend of these characters that you love and recognize so much, but just on a very adult, realistic level. And it's just so damn faithful. And this is also the run that has the infamous stories of where Prometheus is introduced and takes out the entire Justice League, where they do like the Tower of Babel, where they also do like Rock of Ages. Like this is the stuff Grant Morrison wrote it prior to doing like shit like Final Crisis. There's a reason why Grant Morrison like is superbly hit or miss, but man, when it comes to like his Justice League stuff, it's inarguably every person I've ever talked to who's read it, it's always the same thing. Like it is hands down some of the best Justice League in comics ever written.
Yeah, they had the deluxe edition of his JLA run at my comic shop.
Spectacular.
They had
first 4 volumes, dude. It's so bomb.
I wanted to pull the trigger on it. They're all hardcover and they're all like $40 each. And I was just like, dude, I so wish I could pull the trigger on that. But Grant Morrison is freaking amazing. Everything I've read of his as well is just freaking phenomenal. I absolutely love it.
And his whole arc, the thing that he did with Batman was like he made goofy stuff from the Silver Age canon in like kind of spectacular ways. Like the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh is like a backup identity I never thought would like I'd ever see done in such a way, and he did it, and it was just insane to see that. But also the fact that like with what he did with Final Crisis, what he did with Batman, the things that he did, the entire journey of like what he did, and I just thought everything he did with Batman was just absolutely spectacular on every level. And then he gets to write Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne. Like before Peter Tomasi took over for the New 52, Grant Morrison was doing Batman and Robin. He had Dick Grayson as Batman. Yeah. It was like one of the best, freshest dynamics comics I'd seen in such a long time. It wasn't even funny because you had a Batman who was, more or less optimistic and very like forward thinking and very like, fresh, very refreshed and very familiar with the terrain that he was stepping into. And then you've just got this angry, badass little Robin who has no shits to give for anyone or anything, but the only thing he's going to do is not kill because his father is dead. It's wild. It was one of the wildest runs I've ever read in comics, and like some of the craziest shit happens. I love Grant Morrison, what he does with Batman. I will always read anything he does. And Superman and the Authority, the recent stuff he did for DC.
Yeah, I still need to read The Authority, but I've heard all great things. All great things.
Oh, buddy.
Everyone that's ever told me about it.
For a show. Let's see. Marcus Cruz here. I heard someone say the MCU will go full woke and PC in response to stop with the BS. I'm tired of the word woke. I'm not really seeing too much of that on my timeline. I don't know if you have something like that on your timeline. I'm sorry if that's the case. I'm not really seeing that from the MCU. I think their Phase 4 is actually quite branched out in a very diverse, positive way. So
yeah,
that's my 2 cents on
it. I can agree with that.
did you guys like Morrison's? Okay, that's the thing. I haven't gotten around to reading Morrison's Green
Neither
Lantern.
have I, so I can't comment on that either.
We're probably reading a whole lot of other different shit. That's probably a factor as well.
Yeah,
yes, that's me pouring more wine. Because this is a bit of a funeral saying goodbye to the late night pool.
Well, don't say funeral. It makes it sound sad.
Okay, it's more like a wake, memorial. I don't know. Hell if I know. But yes, we're having wine tonight.
But I will say, you talk about just like great stories and such. I'm trying to branch out to different characters and stuff and comics.
You're trying to buy some more Marvel stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
I am trying to buy a lot more Marvel stuff. In fact, this week I went to my comic shop and I picked up actually a lot of Daredevil because my wife and I have been watching the series on Netflix because I didn't get the chance to watch when it first came out. And so we were watching it. My little brother had been recommending it to me for a while, told me that I would really love it because I tend to like more darker, more psychological, and just more weighted content when it comes to comic book characters,
right?
Which is why Batman is my favorite. And so I've thoroughly enjoyed the show so far. And of course, I had to pick up some Daredevil comics.
Right.
And so if I can actually pick this up, I swear, I don't have fingernails. So like this thing gets stuck on this table. There we go. So the first story that I picked up that was recommended to me was Daredevil Ninja by Brian Michael Bendis. And I just love the cover art, especially like for this one. I love the flatness of it.
Oh, I can dig that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it looks? Who's the artist on that? Is that Maleev?
That's Haynes.
Haynes. Okay. Sorry.
I'm not sure if it's Haynes doing the cover art because I haven't had a chance to open these bad boys yet.
I don't think so. No.
But and then I also got a really popular story, which apparently inspired the third season of Daredevil, Daredevil Fall from Grace. And I love this cover because it's just black and white, and the little red dot right there is Daredevil falling from the building.
Oh, nice.
I absolutely love that. And so I have the first and second issues coming in the mail to complete this set. But I'm very much excited because every single time people have told me to pick up some like Daredevil comics, it's either like with Bendis or what was the other one I was told? Oh shoot, there was another writer.
So I've heard Brian Michael Bendis has really great runs on Daredevil. Frank Miller, obviously.
Frank Miller. His Man Without Fear is
also
phenomenal.
Also to Chip Zdarsky.
I think that's another one I was told. Yeah. So I'm branching out to those. But yeah, Man Without Fear by Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. Absolutely beautiful. The covers for those, gorgeous.
I love watching Late Night Bull. I catch it every chance I can. Great show. So I wondered about that. And we will address why the show is kind of changing into something else towards the end of the show when we're kind of done with our stacks. But we will absolutely get to it. Thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated. Dawson, you should buy Chip Zdarsky's whole Daredevil run, issues 1 through 36, and Devil's Reign, issues 1 through 6. So I did read Devil's Reign, and I actually really like what that's doing. Even though I don't know half the context behind it, I'm just cool with picking up the story and figuring out where it is from there.
Yeah.
To basically put it one way, Kingpin is the mayor of New York City, and he's basically called for a manhunt on all vigilantes and all superheroes.
Okay.
And issue 2 has Taskmaster fighting Ben Reilly Spider-Man.
Nice.
Pretty badass. Yeah. And so Late Night
pretty
Bull
awesome.
sounds like it would be a dirty show. Luckily for me, it's not. It's an amazing show and about comic books. Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil is amazing. I've heard nothing short of good things about Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil. I've actually checked out a few issues myself. It's not half bad. I can say that is on good authority.
Yeah, so I will definitely get into those. But sticking with Marvel real quick, I actually started picking up Dark Ages by Tom Taylor. I got issues 3 and 4 because that's the only ones that they had in my comic shop. So I need to pick up issues 1 and 2 eventually. But I've heard so many great things. Tom Taylor's had a great year. I mean, just look at this cover. Giant man riding Fin Fang Foom.
Oh, dude. Dark Ages number 4, I actually did read that. Unfortunately, I didn't get it for obvious reasons because they canceled my saver. But I did read that book, and that book has a moment where I'm just like, oh.
Nice. I'm really looking forward to peeking into this because, of course, I don't have the first issue, so I won't be peeking into it yet. But I love the fact that I'm branching out to more Marvel stuff as well. And I also picked up I decided to add The Amazing Spider-Man again to my pull because John Romita Jr. is joining the run in April. And John Romita Jr. is far and away one of my favorite comic artists. You might say about him what you will.
I did see that he was going back to the Amazing Spider-Man book, and I've already seen
excited.
People just kind of ripping it apart. I'm like, oh my God, you people are just something else.
Everything that I've seen from John Romita Jr., even if the stories he's illustrating for aren't necessarily great, like for instance, Superman Year One by Frank Miller. It's not his best work, but
okay,
Frank Miller's best work. But John Romita Jr.'s art in that book is impeccable.
I like his Batman from All-Star Batman and Robin. I do. I'm not a fan of the writer anymore, but the reason I got the book was because John Romita was on it, but also because at the time I was a fan, but no longer. I still even have the issues. There was a time after in the New 52, after George Perez stepped away and they were just kind of handing off the Superman book willy-nilly, it was announced that Jeff Johns and John Romita Jr. were going to do pieces on the book. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And that didn't last long. I was like, well, shit.
Yeah. I think Men of Tomorrow is the one you're thinking of with John Romita Jr. And also John Romita Jr. also did some Superman with Action Comics.
True.
Which, again, everything I've seen as far as art-wise from John Romita Jr. for me is just like chef's kiss. Beautiful. I love his style.
I'm a fan of Romita's art too. I think he's not bad at all.
He's very much underrated in my own personal opinion. So yeah,
I like Spider-Man. So I don't know why.
Yeah,
people take a dump on it.
So yeah, Marvel's gaining some more of my business. So
Bat City stuff says you need Todd McFarlane Spider-Man. So I've read Torment. I read it at the tattoo shop in which I got this tattoo.
Nice.
The tattoo artist Chuck, I know him very well. I've known him for a long time. He has a pretty sizable bookshelf with a lot of great trades and graphic novels, and one of the hardcovers he had was Spider-Man Torment by Todd McFarlane. Hands down one of the coolest Spider-Man Lizard stories I've ever read. And I also kind of feel like outside of the crazy voodoo magic that happens in that book, it served for a lot of some visual inspiration for The Amazing Spider-Man to some small extent. But yeah, I have read a little bit of Todd McFarlane Spider-Man. I've been tempted to buy from 300 or 280, whatever, when he gets the black suit onwards to Venom and Maximum Carnage, but that's a commitment, just like the Clone Saga. I don't know, maybe one day. But speaking of Spider-Man, I can recommend some stuff, and I will absolutely recommend right now Ultimate Spider-Man, again by Brian Michael Bendis, but also drawn by Mark Bagley. And then I will also recommend again Ultimate Comic Spider-Man Miles Morales, again written by Brian Michael Bendis. So basically, the first Peter Parker Spider-Man that Brian Michael Bendis wrote, and then the second Spider-Man in the form of Miles Morales. I really do like what Brian Michael Bendis does with the character of Spider-Man. I think he gets it from a modern perspective. Yeah. And I enjoyed those books back then, and they were really a nice gateway into me reading Marvel comics.
Yeah, no, Brian Michael Bendis, as far as Marvel's concerned, his Marvel stuff's pretty dang good. His DC stuff's a little questionable.
Yeah. I remember reading what was it, Action Comics 1000 and his lead-in story to, Rokal Zar and all that stuff. And I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't really know what to make of it. I was just like, okay, you've got some Etriganish looking demon here, or, alien, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
And then I kind of fell out of comics after that. So.
Yeah, and I remember when I was just getting myself into what was it? Just collecting more Superman trades. I was looking at Brian Michael Bendis' Superman run, because it was Ivan Reis's art with it. And I like Ivan Reis. I think he's somewhat inconsistent, but overall he's pretty good art. And so I actually reached out to Scott McClellan. And I was like, hey, so I'm looking at these. Would you recommend if I read them? He's like, honestly, when it comes to Brian Michael Bendis as Superman, this is what he said. He's like, pass on it. I was like, dang. Yeah. Well, that's rough.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to read Superman, I would suggest, especially now, I know Philip Kennedy Johnson's doing a pretty solid job on Action Comics. But if you want old Superman, Dan Jurgens is never a bad choice.
Right.
Wrong with John
Death
Byrne.
Return and yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what and I'm a huge fan of Tom Taylor. I think in my stack I've got where is it? Here we go. We might have talked about this last week, we might not have, or even 2 weeks ago. Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 6.
Yes.
I like what Tom Taylor is currently doing with the current version of Superman, as Dawson and I were kind of talking about before we started recording.
Yeah. I think overall it's been a pretty dang good story. I mean, I like a lot of what's going on. I think there's pretty good story developing there. I like the art actually quite a bit. I can never remember for the life of me the name of the artist who does the story.
So it's oh shit. Let me just open up the book because I don't want to spill any wine. Book. Oh, excuse me.
As we learn the answers.
Okay. John Timms on the art, Hi-Fi on the colors.
John Timms. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I like the art on it quite a bit. I think I just overall decently like the John Kent character. I think they're doing a pretty good job of introducing him and making him more
the kind of perspective I'm taking with it is it's a new Superman, so that doesn't mean there should be any kind of status quo for him. Instead, it's like, what is his status quo going to be? You know what I mean? Like, for me, I like reading the book because I like seeing a different kind of Superman, even though he's got the genetics of some of the greatest people in comics ever created. Clark Kent and Lois Lane, to be more specific. But like, I also like that Tom Taylor's kind of forging his own identity and not trying to just, remake him as, Clark Kent 2.0, because that's just not who Jonathan Kent is.
Yeah. So and that would be incredibly boring to read.
Yeah. And it feels like Tom Taylor has an idea, he's got kind of a plan. He's going to do something with called The Rising. There's going to be some villains that are going to pop up. He's going to give this new Superman, new villains. And his Bendix is already kind of like, not necessarily Lex Luthor per se, but kind of that in a much more sinister, you might not like this word, but political perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Bendix to me really feels like, since it's such a harm to the character of his love interest, who I'm forgetting the name right now. It's escaping me because it's been a while since I've read the book.
They call him the Truth, isn't it? The
podcast guy? Right. Yeah. But you know what happens in this issue is him and Damian reunite, and Damian even calls him out good for you, man. Good on you for getting in a relationship. And I appreciated that quite a fair bit.
It was kind of a touching moment because they've had rough goings on in the past. I mean, especially with Rebirth, they did not like each other.
And that's the thing, a lot of people weren't really too happy with John getting the age up when he went over to the Legion.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember people kind of freaking out about that. But
and I'm not mad, but I can understand the frustration. You know what I mean?
I'm also kind of in that middle ground where it's I understand why for the story, but I understand the people kind of being frustrated by it. It is what it is.
Yeah. I feel really bad for not knowing this kid's name because he goes by the Truth. But
yeah, they say his name a handful of times.
They do, and I feel like it's said in almost every issue except this one.
Yeah, it'd be just our luck.
His mom was the former president of the Gamora nation that he's from. Gosh, because they kind of go over the fact that Gamora is this home to metahumans, more or less, or they take people there and they turn them into metahumans.
Yeah,
but overall, I really do enjoy what Tom Taylor's doing. I think I've said on this show and countless others that I don't think Tom Taylor's written a bad book. So
I mean, we talked about this last show. He's had a phenomenal year. I mean, 2021 was the year of Tom Taylor. If I'm being quite honest, he did so much Marvel and DC. And
he's written Wolverine, the new Wolverine.
Yeah.
He's also again, you brought up Dark Ages, great book. And even on the Batman side, he did The Detective, and he's doing Nightwing, and now again with Superman, Son of Kal-El, and Dark Knights of Steel. Fuck me, Dark Knights of Steel is so damn good.
Oh my gosh, it's freaking awesome. Of course, we'll get to that, I'm sure. But as far as Superman, Son of Kal-El, it's one of those stories. It's a good start as far as leading him to be the next generation Superman.
Yes,
it's a good start. It's not on the level Watchmen or something, or Death and Return of Superman or anything like that. But it's a good, solid start.
Yeah. And it's interesting to me because back when I got into comics, Batman, Bruce Wayne was on his way back from that whole Final Crisis ordeal, and Dick Grayson was still kind of Batman.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were kind of roles were being kind of shuffled and characters were dead, alive, whatever. So to now see it again, you know, almost 10 years later, you know, you've got, you know, a new Batman in the form of Jace Fox. You've got Superman, you know, Jonathan Kent. You've got Yara Flor, who is now currently like the Wonder Girl, but will eventually, according to Future State, potentially might be a Wonder Woman. You know, things are changing, and I think that's incredible to keep things fresh, and that's how they're going to survive going forward.
And with that, like the Action Comics run that's going on right now, that kind of supports what's going on in Superman Son of Kal-El is also really dang good with Superman on War World,
right,
and all that stuff going on. It's really nice counterbalance to each other. You got the really like kind of darker warlike story with Superman going on, and Jonathan Kent's kind of figuring out who he is without his father. It's just kind of cool to see both those sides of it.
Yeah, I agree completely. 100%. I'm not reading Action Comics. I feel really bad about that. But again, you know, it was like, you know, a price restriction and like a bunch of other shit going on. I'm sure I'll probably maybe get it in a trade at some point. But like, I know the points of it, like the main beats, you know, Superman, Clark Kent effectively is not on Earth. He's fighting on the War World at war with like Mongel's new kid, his son, some shit like that. So yeah, that's cool. Let's see what we got going on here in the chat, because I don't want to leave them unfinished. Let's see. Droga just finished drawing Spider-Man vs. Sandman.
I just saw that.
Cool,
looks
man.
sick.
Good for you. Dawson also read the new Moon Knight series by Jed McKay, 6 issues. Already the best. I've heard that as well. I need to.
I've had that saved on eBay for the past couple days. So
90s Spider-Man comics, very mature, hardcore, made into a movie or series, probably get an R rating. Yeah, I don't doubt that one bit.
Yeah.
Hot take. Spider-Man 2099 is better than the original Spider-Man. Cooler, futuristic, edgier, brutal, fights more dirty. He's a little more arrogant.
I haven't really your taste with that one, honestly.
Yep. Truth? Question mark? Yes, that's the name of the character. I did notice your comment.
All good.
Speaking of comic books, do you think Marvel will actually be adopting Secret Wars Jonathan Hickman run from 2015 in live action in the next Avengers movie? So I guess that's the question, right? Like, what is the next big team up Avengers flick? What is the next Avengers movie going to be titled? If there is going to be an Avengers movie, is it going to be Young Avengers? Is it going to be Avengers Secret Wars? Is it going to be Secret Wars _ Avengers? Like, I don't know. I'm not in a rush to find out, because they've already done Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, Endgame. And I wonder if they're going to keep things fresh. They might do Young Avengers. They might do Dark Avengers. They might do whatever the fuck Kevin Feige wants. That's kind of where I'm at with it right now.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Fantastic Four. That's my most anticipated Marvel movie now that we're past Spider-Man No Way Home. I want to see what John Watts does with Fantastic Four. Yeah. That's where my head's at the moment. Dawson, what about you? How do you feel about that?
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at too. I mean, I feel like they're more leaning towards Secret Wars by introducing the Skrulls and everything like that. I think that's kind of the direction it's going. But again, at this point, they can just kind of do whatever they want, because they're consistent. Yeah, they've earned it. They've been consistent. They've given us good stories along the way. Sometimes some things haven't hit as well as others, but it's all been consistent.
From the books, like what are your, if you had to like rank your Marvel stuff for the year coming out this year? I'll pull up a list and list them off to you, and we'll rank them from there just for now. I think we can even do a poll in the chat, can't we?
Yeah, I can pull it up and
for sure. Marvel content 2022. Let's see what we got going on this year. Okay. So, according to this Variety article, oh, damn it, I don't want that. I just want a list. Can you just give me a list? No, you're not giving me a list. This is not cool. What the shit? Wah. Wah. Wah, wah, wah. I'm going to whine. I'm going to whine right now. Okay, just give me Wikipedia. Wikipedia will give me that.
And Marcus Cruz, unfortunately, I have not, but I plan on changing that very, very soon.
I have the first 11 issues. I need to read it.
Nice. Okay. I mean, I know, of course, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is coming out this year. That's probably my top as far as Marvel.
So as far as the films go, we've got Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness on May 6th.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Thor: Love and Thunder on July 8th. And then we've got Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, November 11th, 2022. Those are the films.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as television series, we've got Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Secret Invasion, as well as Miss Marvel and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
My top 2 most anticipated Marvel things are top of the list, Moon Knight. Second, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Reverse mine, we have the same list.
Yeah, I mean, those are the main 2 that really stick out to me. I mean, all the other shows that come out this year, I'm like, okay, whatever. And other movies like Black Panther, we don't know what the heck's going on there. We don't know what they're going to do.
Okay, this might be controversial. I personally think that movie might get pushed back into 2023.
I wouldn't be surprised by that, honestly.
I really would not, because they had how many delays in production? Come on.
Ton of issues.
If that happens and then they need to do reshoots, which they usually work into production budget, they usually do with every Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I don't know that movie is going to meet its release date. And honestly, there's a chance that The Flash can spook them out of that release date if the hype for Michael Keaton is big enough.
That's a big if.
It's a big if. I agree.
But
at the same time, like, you have a guaranteed, you've got guaranteed butts and seats simply on the fact that Michael Keaton's Batman. But at the same time, you've also got a week later, Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, right? And this is like the legacy film that is going to honor the memory of Chadwick Boseman, but also like setting the stage for a lot of other stuff. Because I just saw today, rumor has it that Namor is getting like the same like setup treatment that Black Panther got in Civil War in Black Panther 2. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know about that. But time tells, right?
Yeah, that's one where I'm just like, how they're going to handle that is going to be a very touchy subject for a lot of people. And so it's going to have a lot of drama behind it. People are going to either be really upset or really happy about it.
It's the same for both movies, no matter what way you look at it. You know what I
mean?
Like
Flash and Black Panther, like both of them are
affected by some like very intricate behind the scenes details.
Yes.
And like that is even just causing fans like you and myself, not saying us personally, but like it's causing other people who are just like, man, I don't know. And it's like, I get it.
Yeah. 100%.
I get it. You know what I mean?
Totally get it. 100%.
But it's like when you've got the Flash movie and you've got a director, Andy Muschietti, who's like, I want to do this, and this with, Michael Keaton's excuse me, I'm a little wine drunk. You've got Michael Keaton's Batman. You've got a little, you've got 2 Ezra Millers. And Supergirl, you got fans going, huh? But then on the other side, you've got Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and you've got, just the unfortunate truth that Chadwick Boseman is not going to be in this movie. And that's just like, well, damn, that's a bummer. That's going to linger throughout this movie no matter what. And that really freaking sucks, because you already know that Ryan Coogler, Lupita Nyong'o, everyone involved with this movie is trying their damnedest to make it as so honorable as it can be. And all anyone wants to fucking talk about is how the actress playing Shuri won't get her damn vaccination. It's like, come on. Like, there are important things in the world, but at the same time, like, this is a fucking movie and this shit's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. What up, Shri? Good to see you, Shri.
Oh, Shri is in the chat. Hey.
Saying someone say wine?
Yes. Fella's getting wine drunk tonight for the final pool.
Yes.
Indeed. We'll get to the final part of that soon. Yes.
Indeed.
And honestly, as I'm here getting wine drunk, I'm just going to throw in another recommendation. And that's Saga by Brian K. Vaughan. And
I've heard about this.
Dude, this is hands down one of my favorite independent books ever published. It is original in everything that it tends to do, and it's just really a great story, but it's also very adult, so just prepare yourselves for some very adult themes.
Well, there you go.
I enjoy it quite a bit.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen a lot of positive reactions to it, which has tempted me a little bit. But one thing I do want to show as well.
What's going on, Multifandom?
What up, Multifandom?
We got Droga. Let's see how everyone is talking about for Aquaman 2 is okay. Look, if Aquaman was really getting boycotted as hard as it was, if Aquaman 2 specifically, if everyone was really as hard as they were on this film, the first film wouldn't have made $1 billion, honey. That's why the second I'm looking at the second film, I'm like, okay, internationally speaking, like this movie I'm not really worried about it. Like, you've got the same director.
It still makes some money. We'll make $1 billion. That's yet to be seen, but like it'll get close. at least.
I'm not even like looking at the $1 billion mark as a ceiling anymore, because that's just fucking like, that should be the, oh good, we got there. It shouldn't be the goal.
It shouldn't be the goal. I mean, it should be something like, holy crap, yes, but that's not like we'll get there or this movie's a bust.
But Drogo's got like how everyone is talking about for Aquaman to Amber Heard, which annoys me. I will say that anyone whining or not seeing the movie for Amber Heard, fine. I understand it. Sure. People said that in 2018. The movie still made $1 billion.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to affect the second one. You want to know why? Not because Amber Heard's in it, but because every movie is a case-by-case basis.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, Jason Momoa draws people.
Not only that, but like, you know, if you know, memory serves, the first film was just kind of a palate cleanser from Justice League.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say it, but it's true. People liked it. People liked it infinitely more. And also probably because you gave Jason Momoa like full reign as lead actor. And he's got a lot of charisma. He's got enough charisma to rival fucking Thor, which good.
And also, Murr makes a decent point here is that, you know, Aquaman was promoting the Snyder Cut too. So like people were like backing him up there as well.
It was even better in the Snyder Cut. I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Seeing Scream on Monday, I recommend it. Phenomenal movie. Phenomenal.
Nice.
Aquaman only made $1 billion because Momoa was heavily promoted in the Snyder Cut, so the argument.
I think it adds to the conversation.
Okay,
not necessarily make
here's what I will concede about the theatrical cut of Justice League. Jason Momoa was probably the best thing in it.
I can agree with that.
And even then, like the things that are in it that are of quality were probably shot by what Zack Snyder and Fabian Wagner did, not the nonsense that Whedon corrupted that theatrical cut with. But 100%. Hey, you know, I think again, you know, I love DC. I've loved DC since I was a young kid. Truly, I have, and I do not want to see them fail. The fact that, you know, I'm intrigued enough to know of how these things might or might not happen behind the scenes, of how to come to find out that Zack Snyder had a whole plan of movies planned out, and it's like he had a story, and it's like, okay, that's really cool. And then this director-driven studio is like, no, this isn't really working for us financially, and it's like, well, you guys are kind of fucked up for this because you guys say director-driven studio, but you're really literally robbing this director of telling a story. But sure, do whatever you need to do to tell these stories, to sell these characters. I'm gonna throw my hands up and say I get it, but at the same time, look at you like you're fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fact. Yeah.
But that said, like, I'm glad Aquaman made $1 billion because that means we're still getting characters from the Snyderverse to continue in some form or another.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
Very fair point.
Does it fucking suck that Zack Snyder's currently not there making his sequels? Yes. 110 fucking %. Does it suck that Ben Affleck is not Batman? Yes, that sucks. Am I gonna sit here and bitch and whine over it? No, I'm not.
We'll just figure out what happens, and whatever happens.
Like DC is DC to me. I'm gonna see what they do, and I'm gonna criticize it accordingly, like I always have.
And we see a similar thing with, you know, other different fandoms, like for instance Star Wars, which is a perfect segue.
There's a rumor that Lucia Bonvardas, Dr. Doom lawyer, Politica, will be in Black Panther 2. Doom will cause the war between Wakanda and Atlantis. Fuck, I don't know about that. We'll see.
That'd be interesting. But speaking of Star Wars,
please.
One thing I wanted to show off that I got a while ago that I don't think I ever got the chance to show off on the show. It's something that came by quite a surprise. From Dark Horse Comics, the 4-issue run of the comic book iteration of Star Wars Episode 1, which I saw. I saw it in my comic book shop, and I was like, dude, yes, I've looked inside. The art is impeccable. It's actually really dang good and does a really great job of replicating how the movie feels. I know some people have strong feelings about this movie, but like I personally actually really like it. It's my second favorite of the prequel trilogy because of all the things it tries to do.
Yeah, I'm torn because like it's funny. Of the 3 trilogies, of them, the second movie I like the most is Empire Strikes Back. The one I like the least is Attack of the Clones. And it's super funny because I think, again, you know, you and I were talking right before we went live. Like, I still think the Phantom Menace has the best action sequence as far as lightsaber duels are concerned.
Yeah. And it had the most to try to accomplish as far as establishing what was lost before the original trilogy happened? What kind of system of government was in place? Can some of
Yes.
that get a little boring and drawn out? Absolutely. But I think it's interesting enough to see just the world building that they had to do and how much they were actually able to accomplish and help us understand about how it all worked before. I was like, all right, I like this. Yeah, Jar Jar can get lost. And kid actor for Anakin, unfortunate story, but he wasn't great. But overall,
who did the art and the story on those books? Does it say on the covers?
DiMaggio is what it says. DiMaggio
Okay.
and Williamson.
Okay.
So I'd never seen any of their work before. Written by Gilroy. Don't know his first name. But honestly, again, peeking inside, I saw a lot of what this had to offer, and it was not disappointing, to say the least. Honestly. So.
Well, I'm glad. Like, Star Wars has always held a pretty special place in my heart. I think you and I were also, again, talking about, like, the expanded universe and whether or not, like, it personally matters to either one of us. And as far as Star Wars goes today, like, look, I'll take whatever the fuck I can get, because for the longest time, there was only 6 movies. And then Disney was like, okay, we're going to make more shit. And then I was like, oh, okay, cool. Some of the shit they made, it's like, all right. And some of the shit they made, like, okay, here we go.
I can roll with this.
To even kind of go off a little bit.
What's up, Gavin?
Amazing. Much love you guys. Thank you, Gavin. We love you too. Revenge of the Sith is probably my overall favorite.
Same.
Of the prequel trilogy. I will say that much. And I still need, matter of fact, I think I will read Blood Ties tonight. Look, I've always maintained that as far as the prequel trilogy is concerned, George Lucas worked backwards. The most effort that man put into those 3 films was in Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, because he had to end it on a banger and lead into the original trilogy, and he did a fantastic job with that.
Bingo. And that, I still love Phantom Menace. I used to watch that one on repeat all the time.
Yeah.
I'm getting so wine drunk, and I love it. It's because we're saying goodbye to the late night poll, Dawson. We're saying goodbye, but at the same time, it's like a phoenix. It's going to die and then rebirth itself.
I'm curious if you've just speaking of pools, I'm curious about something. Have you picked up any of DC versus Vampires?
Yes, and that was part of my saver that got canceled.
So
yeah,
I picked up the first 3. I got the first cover,
2.
And I got this cover for issue number 2.
Oh, that's pretty
nice and foil. And I picked up this one as well for number 3. Very excited to read through these. I haven't had the chance to yet, but I love these covers so far.
The Revenge of the Sith is the only Star Wars movie I've seen besides Force Awakens and Solo. I really like Revenge of the Sith.
Nice.
Us too. Again, Revenge of the Sith, special place in heart, overall favorite of the prequel trilogy.
Saw in the theaters when I was 8 years old, and I cried like a baby.
I remember seeing that with my best friend and just being like, damn, this really brings everything full circle. And just being enamored by that and not knowing anything about the internet, not knowing anything about people being shitty and leaving comments on message boards and shit like that. Yeah. Just thinking, oh, Star Wars is awesome.
Absolutely. 100%. I mean, Star Wars was the shiz back then. It still is. I mean,
you know what? Everything like that is still the shit. Never. You know what I learned after quitting this job, or I should say, resign. I peacefully resigned. That's how I did it. I peacefully resigned through Discord. I will say
that's awesome.
That there are things that will lead you and could lead you to just feeling really put off to the things that you might love, and that's kind of what was happening with where I was working. And honestly, I feel so much better that I'm not working there anymore, because I can talk about the things that I love so much without feeling superbly criticized for the way I feel about shit that I love.
Yeah, that's always nice to talk about what you love and not get criticized for it. You know, it's
cheers.
You love what you love, you don't what you don't. Honestly. But
oh, look who's crawled into the chat. Mr.
Frank.
Really, Revenge of the Sith is incredible. Yes, it is. If you want a link, full fucking DM me. I'll fucking let you in here for a night.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
My top 3 favorites. One Revenge. No, hold on. Top 3 favorites from Revenge to Rogue One through Return. Okay.
I can respect that.
I love Revenge. Rogue One is my least favorite. Return of the Jedi is somewhere in there between the top and the bottom.
Mine goes Revenge, Return, and Empire.
Okay. Do we have any Star Wars drops, Dawson? I don't know.
We actually do. We have one. Well, let me.
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
That's me. As in, I'm not master at all, whatsoever.
I don't want this stunted slime in my sight again.
I don't want this stunted slime in my sight again.
That's a good trick.
Love it,
dude. Oh man, I really want to submit my voice for like for Ian McDermott Passover, whatever you want to call it. Damn it, what Troy Baker does for Mark Hamill? Damn it, imitation.
Oh yeah.
Similar voice. I don't fucking know. Some shit like that.
Yeah. But dude,
okay.
I know we wanted to talk about this one.
Which one are you pulling out? Oh, wait a minute. I just thought of something. Oh, and you're gonna be like, God damn you.
I wanted to whip it out.
Yes. It's a favorite drop now. I love it.
What you got? Whip it out.
Dark Knights Steel 3, baby.
It's at the top of the stack, babe. Yep.
I got the regular cover coming in the mail because I subscribed to online.
Let's discuss.
First off, before we even say anything, about the story, like variant covers.
I'm gonna pour more wine.
The best variant covers this year, in my personal opinion, have been Dark Knights of Steel. Bar none.
I can't disagree because DC Vampires variant covers felt a lot like DC Deceased variant covers, and I'm just like,
yeah,
we've seen it before.
I mean, they're good, but they're nothing new. Which, kind of dulls things.
Bro, you can see me pouring the wine on the stream. Look at that glass; it's so fucking full. Yes, bitch.
Oh man, this is
good. You Dawson, not calling you a bitch, just saying like just bitching.
I know, man.
Show for show. Just getting fucking drunk. That's
great. Frank says, "Are there trade paperbacks yet for Dark Knights of Steel?" Not that I'm aware of. I don't think so.
No. So Frank, the thing is, the trade paperbacks won't happen until the last issue is out.
Yeah, because it's just 12 issues. What this is going to be, which I'm glad it's 12 issues instead of 6, like Superman 78 and Batman 89, because like I feel like 6 is a little short.
Yes.
I mean,
after issue 6 comes out for Batman 89, I'm just gonna be like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna buy the trade. Even though I've got like the first 4 issues.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna have all those collected and then probably get the hardcover because the hardcover for those sold out pre-orders like 5 months ago. And it's just like, man,
is that right? Are you serious?
It sold out super fast. It was ridiculous. I could not get a copy of it ordered anywhere.
Shut up. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Bro, that's fucking nuts.
That's why I ended up getting all of the issues because I was like, well, if I'm not going to get the hardcover or any other trade, just get this.
I will say, I'm bummed out because now I don't get the chance to read Chicken Devil. I don't get the chance to read like Good Boy. Yeah. I have to wait for those to like come out in like trade form, which was my MO for a long time. I will say the large reason I decided to start picking up single issues was because not only did I start working at a comic book store, but because you asked me to do the show. And I was like, yeah, sure, I can do this. But like walking into like a live version of Twitter every day was just so.
I totally get that, man. That's just.
But like the beautiful thing is I can absolutely respect anyone who has the time and patience to invest in a week-to-week collection habit. And that, with Dark Knights of Steel, and even like Deceased, whether you want to get it in trade paperback form or whether you want to collect it weekly. Excuse me. Wine drunk. Love it. If you love Tom Taylor, fucking get it. Good for you. Like, just support it like us. Like these books are the reason why we love these fucking characters. Like with Dark Knights of Steel, like this book, it hits emotional notes. And again, like this is Tom Taylor doing things with these characters where I'm just like, dude, you understand Elseworlds, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, he's just doing what he wants to do with these different characters, making them different, but like to the point where it's freaking medieval fantasy meets DC, and it's like I'm so here for it, and it's done so well so far. There's betrayal, there's intrigue, there's war talks, there's like all the stuff that comes with a great medieval story, but with these phenomenal characters. It's like, yes,
this is way more Game of Thrones than it is Dungeons and Dragons.
It's more Game of Thrones than I anticipated it being.
Yes,
like he said Game of Thrones, but I figured it's just like, oh, it just means like medieval. But like there's all sorts of different like betrayals happening and just a lot of shocking things that happen. I mean, of course, it's not over the top, like overtly like mature content stuff like Game of Thrones is, but like it's still like psychologically interesting. Got a lot of just awesome visuals. I love the art. I mean, honestly, Putri, how you pronounce their name?
Putri. Yeah,
Putri is just
beautiful.
Yeah.
So the reason why the art helps the story is because it really feels superbly fantastical in that it feels like you're looking through an old tale, like, you know, a Canterbury Tale.
Yeah.
And dude, like the way Tom Taylor just kind of weaves the DC canon into the overall like medieval times of it all is just superb in almost every sense of the word. Like the way, spoilers if you're not fucking reading this book, but damn, the fact that Superman and Batman are like stepbrothers, I'm like, okay, this is fucking cool. But then the big twist is like, oh shit, Batman's Kryptonian. Oh fuck. Or rather, you know, he's got like Kryptonian.
He's half Kryptonian, basically. Like, yeah, that's Game of Thrones style talking about there. It just adds so much more intrigue to that version of the character. It's like, gosh, I swear, so many different things he's doing that are just different work. Like, honestly, if you did stuff like this in a regular, like, alternate DC comic, like, people would be furious. But the fact that it's stuff like this and this type of story, it's the perfect place to do it. Honestly.
It's the wine tree. Sangria, Carlo Rossi.
Oh, dude.
Some wine.
Multifandom says, imagine Zach bringing Dark Knights of Steel to life. He totally could. He totally could.
I have an idea. Dawson, I don't even think I've told you about this.
Probably not.
I have an idea for a Batman movie that is just so fucking, it would never happen, but it's just so fun to talk about. I can't help but talk about it. It's essentially Last Nights on Earth, but Spider-Man No Way Home. So basically what happens is it's the end. It's basically kind of like Loki too. It's taking inspiration from all these different comic book properties that have been done. And I'm just like, if I had the opportunity to do it now, this is what I would do. And I would do like, you know, the setting of it is this desolate, deserted world. It's all hellscape, essentially like the Nightmare from Zack Snyder, right?
Yeah.
And you've got this, it's also a bit like that, but it's also the Last Night on Earth, in that one of the Batmen, because there's 3 in my story, it would be Batfleck. Ideally, in an ideal world, hypothetically speaking, right? I would have my 3 main Batmen be Ben Affleck's Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman, and a cool reworked George Clooney's Batman.
Interesting.
And the villain is, wait for it, Michael Keaton's Batman on the Omega chair that Metron used to sit on. And his top enforcer is Christian Bale's Batman Who Laughs.
Christian Bale's Batman Who Laughs could be freaking sick.
Exactly. And then Ben Affleck's Batman has Jared Leto's Joker in a head, Last Night on Earth style. And his Batman is the one who wakes up. It would essentially kind of be like Last Nights on Earth, but with like all the live action Batman kind of interweaved in. And essentially what it boils down to is these 3 have to launch an assault on this big giant fortress led by the Omega Bat, who, go figure, Michael Keaton's Batman in the in the omnibus chair, whatever the fuck Metron sits on Metron's chair. Yeah, that. And like they have to launch an all-out assault and like stop this motherfucker from being like the ultimate Batman, right? And like George Clooney, in my mind, the way I see it, like after No Way Home, I was really inspired by this story to be like, you know what, you could do a Batman story like this if you just went fuck it, let's just do it, right? But Warner Brothers is never going to do this. So
no way in hell.
Weird enough to just kind of come up with the idea. But essentially, like, what it boils down to is it's like you've got Ben Affleck's Batman and Christian Bale's Batman, and they basically like come to a fight, and Michael Keaton's Batman is just sitting there, Emperor Palpatine style, just watching this whole fight go down. Like, what the fuck's gonna happen? I don't know. This is fun. And it's just basically this big fucking love letter to Batman, Batman fans, DC, the multiverse, the fucked up timeline, all of it. That's
Wayne Wars.
Yeah. So I would actually call it like Last Nights on Earth.
That'd be pretty dope. Good little nod to Scott Snyder.
See, this is what happens when you fucks get me wine drunk. Not Dawson, but you fucks in the chat and my own personal self for just being like, oh, I saw some wine at the store. I'm going to get it tonight. Okay, back to our regular scheduled programming. Dark Knights of Steel #3 at your local comic book stores. Go
get it
now.
Highly recommend.
Pay regular price.
Okay. I see what you did there.
You also showed Superman 78, right?
I did. Yes,
you did.
I have this in the variant cover. The variant cover is beautiful. I have it in my box.
We got the same cover.
Nice.
Yeah, love it.
So I can't say enough about how they've adapted this thing.
I'm a fucking broken record when it comes to this book, dude. This book is hands down, for me, Superman 3.
Yeah. Honestly.
And what's even funnier,
it works.
This issue, you get fucking Richard Pryor. You see art of Richard fucking Pryor in this book, dude. And it's so good. Oh my God. 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 It's so funny. I'm gonna laugh my ass off because it's so funny. Fuck, we're like losing and gaining viewers as I talk. This is just good, dude. This is so funny to me. But yeah, let me just pull up the panel right now because Richard Pryor is in this fucking book. I shit you not, folks. Richard Pryor is in it, just like Marlon Brando.
They've done such a great job of like bringing in different characters from that version of Superman and just
putting
the story in a natural way.
Really great job of just carrying that story forward post Superman 2, in my humble opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like as if Superman 3 and 4 didn't happen, and it's just replaced by this, which is just great. I'm more than fine with that. To be completely honest with you.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Fuck. I'm trying to find the page. Oh, there it is. 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 Richard fucking Pryor.
There he is.
Richard fucking Pryor is in this book, guys. Get this book. Superman 78. Or just wait for it on the trailer.
Yeah, or try to find the hardcover, whatever, if you can even find it. If it's even available anymore.
I love Man of Steel. Truly, it is probably the closest thing I will ever get to like my ideal version of Superman. Yeah. What I've been waiting for as far as like a movie film is concerned. But like I can now appreciate as I turn 30 and we are 4 days away from my birthday. Like I can appreciate
Happy early birthday. There you go.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I can appreciate what Christopher Reeve did, and I do.
Oh yeah, of course.
Even though all four of those, the first movie, quite enjoy. Second one, depends on the cut.
Yeah.
Third film, let's not talk about that. Fourth film, let's definitely not talk about that.
No. And Frank, absolutely no. Nuclear Man.
No, let's not talk about that.
Let's keep him out.
But you know what? Speaking of like older DC, I will also recommend. This is hands down probably one of my favorite Batman stories.
Oh, of course.
Death of the Family.
Nice.
And this isn't necessarily per se why I'm a Zack Snyder fan, but this does infer a lot to why I love Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, is because that movie largely takes it, at least as far as like the whole situation with Robin is concerned, it really takes that to a very mature level, and it takes it to such a length in which it affects Bruce Wayne on a very personal and psychological level. And I can really appreciate that, because that is one moment in which Batman truly did fail. It is one moment that haunts him for all of his future crime-fighting endeavors. So the fact that it was honored in such a way, and even just such a fucking fuck you way, in the way that Zack Snyder did, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean like the way that he did it, the way that he has Robin honored in Batman vs Superman, like the whole ha 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 jokes on you, Batman, on the Robin suit is just like that even bigger, like just knife to the back. Like Joker fucking fucked Batman up, dude.
Yeah, and there's a whole 2 pages of, of course, there's more of that, but there's a whole straight 2 pages of Death in the Family that are flat out referenced in BVS when it comes to Robin, like talking about Bruce Wayne becoming kind of bitter or more aggressive, and Tim Drake points it out, as well as Alfred. Like I always love it. I always love finding more things that those movies pull from in the comics, and Death in the Family was one of those where I just sit there reading it like, holy freaking crap, I forgot that this was a thing and how accurate this is in the movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the panel right now. Like this has been always been one of my favorite panels in comics ever drawn. I'm also, again, huge Jim Aparo fan. This was also written by Jim Starlin.
Yeah.
But like this whole, oh, where the fuck is it? Here we go.
Oh, yes. Yes.
The image of Batman holding a dead Robin, like that to me is like, I never want to see Batman fail, but when Batman fails, he learns something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I was growing up watching Batman the Animated Series, like I was always intrigued by the idea that, Dick was the first Batman, and then they, kind of spliced together Tim Drake and Jason Todd.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you get Batman Beyond, you get the whole, like, what they did with, Death and Return of the Joker or whatever the fuck. But like to see that to me is what led my intrigue into getting into the comics, and that's where I discovered Death of the Family. That was one of the first Batman stories I seeked out because I was just so curious as to why this story was superbly sentimental to what Batman does fundamentally as a crime fighter going forward after the death of Jason Todd.
Mm. Yeah, so, honestly, like I also love the fact I have the deluxe edition of Death in the Family. I love the fact that in the back of that one, they have the alternate page of that where Robin's alive. And it just like kind of shows you like the fun, chaotic situation that was behind the creating of this story, as far as like the voting and like them either going either way. And oh man, it's a great couple panels.
It's one of my favorites, and not even because I condone any violence towards teenagers, but just because it's like it's one of those moments for Batman.
Mm.
And again, I've made no bones about it. Jim Aparo is one of my favorite Batman artists. Rest in peace, his soul.
Yeah.
But like that book, it was one of the first I wanted to own. It's still one of my favorites to this day, and it will always be one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy that it was honored in some live action capacity. I will always be grateful that Zack Snyder did that with Batman vs Superman.
100%.
What you got next, fool? What you got next?
Speaking of Robin, I got the 3rd and final issue of Robin and Batman. And
fuck, I need to get that.
Yes, I was waiting to get the 3rd one to read it through all the way through, because these are actually pretty thick issues. You can tell if you look at it like that. They are thicker issues. Of course, done by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen.
Yep.
So great artist. Already love the artist. And so I'm very much excited. I saw an article talking about this and talking about it's an absolutely fantastic story. They rated a 4.5 out of 5 as far as rating system goes, as far as books of 2021. And so very much excited to open these bad boys up. They are a longer read, as you can tell. But again, I love the cover. You talk about the death of Robin and all of that.
I'm going to pick that up, and then maybe I'll probably get it on trade. Shri had deluxe edition of Jail Rebirth, plan on collecting all that come out. There you go.
Very nice.
Franklin's multiverse. That's right. That's right. Write this down. I don't need
talk about your Batman movie idea.
Okay, for sure. I love the art in the Immortal Wonder Woman. I need to read that. I also need to read Wonder Woman Dead Earth. I really want to read that as well.
Dude, you have to. You need to. If you're into like dystopian, like hardcore stuff, you'll love Wonder Woman Dead Earth.
My dream would be make a 3 Jokers movie: Jared Leto, Joaquin Phoenix, Mark Hamill, live action with Christian Bale, Batman, Kieran Gillian as Batgirl, Dane DeHaan, Jason, Chris O'Donnell.
Interesting. I can see Dane DeHaan as Jason Todd.
Okay. Three
An older
Joker
Jason Todd
isn't
but...
exactly one of my favorites, but I can appreciate the sentiments there.
Yeah,
very cool.
Definitely. But yeah. So yeah, there's that one, and I mean, there's also like the most recent issues of Batman by Williamson and Molina.
Yes.
And Molina's art is fantastic. I didn't know who they were before this.
And it's also Michael Janine too, right?
Maury and Janine, as far as 118 and 119.
Yeah.
And so I got the variant covers of both of those. And the variant covers, dude, are dark. They're like darkly colored. Oh, look at these, man.
So I don't know why the suit change was absolutely necessary. I'm not saying I don't mind it. It's just like, okay, cool. Whatever.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like, okay, that happened.
But Abyss as a character, I'm very curious to see where this will lead to. But then after this is going into the whole Deathstroke Incorporated war or whatever the fuck Williamson's got cooked up.
Yeah. And I'm very much excited for that because that story, or I guess the continuation of that story, is illustrated by Dan Mora, who's going to start doing the whole Batman and Superman World's Finest.
Dude, Dan Mora is just such a fucking badass.
And he's illustrating that. He's illustrating that for Mark Waid.
He is. I'm excited to check that out.
Mark Waid, dude, I'm so freaking excited for that. Because the current run of Batman Superman is like, it's all right. It's kind of died off.
It has.
But this new one, World's Finest, it's like, dude, yes, I'm all for it. So yeah, guys, if you haven't checked out the latest of Batman after Fear State, do so. It's a good start. And
I'm going to be right back. Dawson, just keep you all entertained for a quick second.
There you go. And I'm just going to continue with Batman here. And we got I Am Batman by Tom Ridley and Braga. I got both this cover as well as this cover, which this is, of course, I believe it's the same artist who did the variant covers for Deceased. Because it's just absolutely fantastic. You kind of see he has a very techie cowl. And I haven't had a chance to read it through all the way yet, but apparently this is the issue where Jason no longer has the mask guarding his face. So now you can see like he's like who he is. He's not simply Bruce Wayne's Batman. He no longer has a like face mask thing going on. And I must say I just love the different approach to Batman that they have with this version with Jace. I think his name. I forget names really easily, so forgive me if that's the wrong one. But I know Phil has some really good strong feelings about this as well. Positive, strong feelings. As far as like his different approach to Batman. It's more like on the streets, like talking with people, not necessarily like being like conversational, but like letting people know like he exists rather than being this some sort of like phantasm kind of thing. And I think that it's just very interesting how he thinks differently from that. Because like Batman, of course, he's on the rooftops and he's trying to act like this like sort of ghost that haunts the city and all of that. What's up? Just talking about some I Am Batman.
Yeah, John Ridley. I heard. I
said Tom Ridley. Why did I say Tom Ridley? John Ridley. But
I Am Batman. I have not gotten issue 5.
I know you've really loved their approach to his Batman, though.
I do, and I'm very curious to see where it will lead to. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, because like again, great direction. And of course, this is one where his face mask gets knocked off, like I was telling everybody. And
me too, Frank, me too. Yeah. I love Michael Janine as an artist. That is great. Certainly something.
But I showed off this variant cover of I Am Batman number 5.
Yeah, that's
pretty
rad
sick.
as fuck. I can't wait to get it. Maybe in a couple weeks when I decide to start picking up comics again. We'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. But again, another great Batman-oriented story. I mean, that's a lot of my collection most of the time is Batman-oriented stuff, which can you really blame me, honestly, because they just keep putting out great content. Great content. And I believe it actually...
You know what's funny? You mentioned Josh Williamson. That dude is absolutely up there with Tom Taylor right now. And I will just say that if you're not reading Justice League Incarnate, where he's fighting absolute Darkseid right now, and like the multiverse Justice League, fuck me, this book is awesome.
For some reason, my comic shop didn't have issue number 3. I don't know why.
That sucks.
I knew it came out. And I was like, why don't you guys have this?
I don't know. I'm not your shop. I can't answer that question.
Good thing I wasn't asking you, Phil.
No, right?
Oh man, but no, Justice League Incarnate, and the fact that Gary Frank is illustrating the covers for those.
Yes,
like, dude, Gary Frank's up there as one of my top artists. Like most things that he illustrates, I want to read simply because his art is there, and his art is so easy to read. It's just freaking beautiful.
He's the only reason I don't really shit or take a big dump on what is it? Fuck Doomsday Clock.
Yeah, because
his art is pretty impeccable, all things considered.
Oh yeah, I mean, I will say this till the day I die. Gary Frank's faces that he draws are the best faces out there as far as comic book characters.
Dude, his Superman looks just like Christopher Reeve. I have to hand it to him.
Yeah,
on that front, like 100%.
He nails it, and just the attitude the characters' faces have that he draws, like it's just they feel real, they feel tangible, and his hash marking is just on point, honestly.
And honestly, just to like talk about that story for a bit, like Justice League Incarnate,
it's wild, and I'm here for it.
Yes, because the lineup they have is one I'd never expected. The fact that Darkseid is a villain, the fact that this is just a 5-issue miniseries, I'm like, okay, cool, fuck it.
Yeah.
So multiverse, it's they're trying to save a version of the Flash. They're trying to stop Darkseid from just conquering all the multiverse. Like, fucking cool. Yeah, we got Calvin Ellis Superman. We've got fucking Thomas Wayne Batman. We've got Dr. Multiverse. And I'm just like, I don't give a shit who any of these characters are. I mean, I kind of do, but at the same time, I'm just like, yeah, tell a fucking kick-ass story. The story's pretty kick-ass, and I'm digging where it's going.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. 100% agree with that assessment, for sure. But
100%, sir.
Sir,
Sir.
Are you threatening me, boy?
I'm not threatening you with shit, dude. I don't know what the fuck you're on.
Well, we all know what you're on.
I'm not. I'm wine drunk. That's all there is to it.
And I guess talking about artists really quick. I mean, if you're not picking up Detective Comics right now, simply for the case of Lee Bermejo's variant covers.
Oh fuck,
dude,
bro, Lee Bermejo. That dude has influenced so much of Batman in live action, and ain't even funny. Like, especially with the last 3 incarnations.
Yeah, I mean, the cowl that Ben Affleck has, very much inspired by Lee Bermejo's art, as well as like just the texture of the suit and stuff. And then Robert Pattinson's Batman. Like, as soon as I saw his suit, I saw a lot of Lee Bermejo, I guess, inspiration on that suit. And I mean, the way the armor's laid out, like.
Okay, the first time I ever read or saw anything by Lee Bermejo, it was the book Joker.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, this is like the continuation of Heath Ledger's Joker I never asked for, because that's almost kind of quintessentially what it might be, depending on your perspective of the character of Batman or the Joker.
Yeah.
But like, that book was just phenomenal in fucking ways.
You were just waiting for that. Oh my God.
Yes, I was. I wanted to do that in a perfect, timely manner.
I will say, if I were to talk about like Joker as a book specifically, like, I love Lee Bermejo. I do feel like his work is kind of inconsistent there. Like, he has a style where he will do such hyper realism of the character and focus in the panel, and other things kind of get just kind of disregarded for the sake of focusing on one character. But sometimes it feels like the things he decides to focus on and not focus on, especially in that book, is just a little inconsistent. Like, one panel will be like everything's super detailed, looks super good. Then the next one, there'll be just some spaces that are just flat colors. And it's like, man.
See, I don't.
This is kind of true.
It's yeah. I can kind of see it,
especially when he draws women. All of his women have the same face.
Again, I will say, Gary Frank is probably the closest artist to get like Christopher Reeve from screen to page, which is the hardest transition to do, in my opinion.
Yes.
And I love Joe Quinones, but I think his Batman 89 it's close, but it's not quite Gary Frank.
Right. It's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, his Michael Keaton Batman resembles, but there's some things where I'm just like,
it's you're drawing Keaton and it's a drawing, you know what I mean? But whereas like Gary Frank, you're just like, oh fuck, that's Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost every single time.
Like, you look at Superman's Secret Origin, like that entire book, there's not a single panel where you're not questioning, like if this is Christopher Reeve Superman or not. You know, even with like the kid version of Superman, like you know for a fact that is Christopher Reeve, even as a kid.
So I'm going to just recommend one of the best comics you all need to read right now, because I'm just going to get this out of the way. I don't really, I'm sorry, Dawson, but I'm just like, you know, I'm kind of with you, but I'm also just like in the same mindset of like, if you were really just want to understand like the purpose or just understand the beauty of reading comics, you need to read this book. And this book is Identity Crisis by Brad Meltzer and Rags Morales.
I got the hardcover right back there.
This book is everything you should hold a comic book standard to. It is beautiful. It is well written. It is astonishing. It is heart-wrenching. It is just immaculate in every sense of the word. And I feel like if you haven't read this book, you should. You absolutely should. I'm not going to diminish you. I'm not going to make fun of you. I'm just going to be like, okay, you should. You should really read this book. I think you're going to enjoy it, because I really enjoyed it.
I had a good friend recommend that to me last year, so I picked it up and I read through it. The art's, it's one of those where it's like the art is like, it's okay, but the story, like you said, is just absolutely fantastic.
Dude,
there's some parts that you're reading it and the jaw just drops. The story does elevate the art.
It's so good. The moment Batman and Tim Drake share together is just,
yeah.
And even just the whodunit aspect of that story is just fucking so good.
And I love the fact that all these characters in the Justice League are like just mega powerful, but like at the same time they know who the frick is in charge, and that's Batman. They know. And the fact that like there's such a moral conversation as far as what the Justice League does to a certain character, and they had this long debate about it and different perspectives on it. It's just, it makes these characters feel more human, and it begs the question of you to give your opinion on what they should do.
Agreed. And you know, even just kind of getting to the last bit of my my final pull here, it's getting to that point. I'm kind of bummed because like I don't want to stop like midway through a run, but I'm getting through the Amazing Spider-Man and Venom number 3, and I'm just like, shit, this shit's getting really fun, and I don't want to stop, but I don't work at the comic book store anymore, so I'm just like,
yeah,
gotta save my money.
Yeah, I feel that.
I will also say, like, this is some of the best Spider-Man and Venom stuff I've read. I don't want to say written because I haven't written shit. I'm not a comic book writer. I ain't that famous. I am a shit stain on the underwear that is the earth. Okay?
Oh, come on.
But I will just again reinforce, like, my love of the current Spider-Man comics comes from entirely from my old coworker. I love and respect him more than anything. He's the one who really got me into trying to check out more Marvel stuff, and I'm glad he did, because that stuff is just freaking awesome, and I enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's man, love it.
We love it.
We love it a little too much, if you know what I mean.
A little too much.
I mean, I only have like 3 full boxes filled up now. It's just, you know, and slowly building more and more and more. Slowly is a generous term.
No. Yeah, that's the last bit I got for current stuff.
Yeah, that's the gist of all that I've gotten recently too. And it's again, big stacks. You see all the different stuff I have laid on the table over here, like,
but our stacks are not done.
Oh,
that's right, folks. I've finished my journey in that I am done reading Final Crisis.
Nice, very, very nice.
Now, when I saw that the store that I'd worked for had all 7 issues, oh fuck, okay, I can do this, and I did. I bought them all. I've read them all, and I'm just superbly satisfied that I got to revisit this book again, and that I own it in, you know, physical single issue form.
Yeah,
this book, you know, it did things. It sets a really interesting tone for the DC universe. It does things that make you go, oh fuck. Excuse me. But I love it. I enjoyed it. I'm pleasant at the fact that I revisited it. And I'm exquisitely happy that, again, you know, I got to revisit this just beautiful Oedipus from Grant Morrison.
Again, Grant Morrison, man, never let you down.
Never. Ever. And if anyone wants to get the Final Crisis Omnibus, by all means do so.
Yes, I 100% agree with that. I've been looking at like the absolute editions of that, and I'm just like, that'd be great.
But again, you know, as also little trophies, I got a Superman 83, 79,
Nice.
77, and 73. This one I actually really just love the cover. Some books I buy for the cover. This is one of those books.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
That is dang good.
Yeah.
I definitely have plenty of those. Like some of the Batman Superman variant covers that I get, I simply get for the cover.
And then this one came in just because I was like, oh, fuck, I know this issue. This is Superboy number 0, motherfuckers. That's right.
Nice.
Tease to King Shark, bitches. Yes. And then also I couldn't pass up this one because I found it just, you know, sorting through the back issues. And this is Batman and Robin, number 232.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah. And Batman Gotham Knights, number 59. I think I showed this off last time, but again, just a beautiful, beautiful cover with Mr. Freeze and Batman.
Who did the cover for that?
Adlard, Charlie Adlard.
Adlard, okay.
But
it almost looks like Jay Lee's style for a second.
Yeah.
Which is also another criminally underrated comic book artist, in my opinion.
But yeah, that's
Oh no! Don't let it get damaged, sir.
Just put these up here.
There you go.
There we are. All right. But yeah, that's it. That's it. It's the final pull, gentlemen. That's the final pull, everybody.
It is the final pull, but it is not the end of the road.
Indeed. So, unfortunately, the final pull is coming to an end because I no longer work at a comic book store and I'm no longer going to be getting weekly comics. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to not be part of the 4Nerds Network. And that means that things are changing and that this show is going to change and the format's going to change. That means we're going to get a lot more voices on here. We're going to get a lot more perspective. Things are going to change. This is going to be changing. We're still going to talk about comics here and there, but at the same time, we're still going to be talking about things that we love. And I wanted to do this, and I'm actually really surprised at like the creative integrity I was allowed to just be like, hey, this is what I'm going to do because I don't do this anymore. And they were like, all right, fine, what the fuck ever.
That's kind of our attitude about the whole thing is like, dude, you want to do a show? Go for it, man. Do we need to do? Do we want to do? We're cool with it.
Late Night Pull is done, but it's not over. It is not over. Because the Late Night Pool is going to be evolving into something else entirely. And that thing that I'm excited to share with all of you, anyone in the chat, people watching, whoever catches this at a later time, the Late Night Pool has evolved. The Late Night Pool is now. That's right. That's right. Friday, Saturday nights, whatever the shit, it doesn't matter. New movies, old movies, it doesn't matter. We're going to be talking about them. Movie news, old, new, it does not matter. Any movies I've watched, any movies I love, any movies you might hate, bring them up in the chat. I don't give a shit. Late night movies. That is the new status quo for the Late Night Pool. We are no longer going to be comics. It's going to be movies. Late night movie talk. Yours truly.
And it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be absolutely great. Like you said, you're going to have different people on here, different movies talked about.
Past and present. And look,
yeah,
you know, I was really looking forward to Morbius. Morbius got pushed to April. no skin off my back. We can talk about what the fuck ever. Maybe the first episode is going to be Scream, the new one. I don't know. Maybe the new episode is going to be Matrix Resurrections. I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter because movies are awesome. And I love movies and I love talking about movies. And I don't want to abandon the Four Nerds Network. So again, I just want to thank Dawson, Anthony, Andre, Ryan. Thank you guys so much for letting me be a part of this channel. I don't know where the fuck Austin is, but if y'all want to come in and talk about your favorite fucking movies, I'll send you a fucking link. I don't give a shit. Just hit me up. We'll talk about movies every Friday or Saturday. It does not fucking matter. We will talk about them. Old, new, present, past tense, future. It does not matter. We will talk about these movies. I will set the times. These streams will happen.
And we are looking so much forward to the movies you guys talking about, how you guys do it. I'm just very excited. I'm just glad we get to keep you on the network. I'm glad we get to keep you around because we enjoy having you around. You know, it's always a good thing.
I appreciate that. I do.
Yeah.
It is absolutely. It is. I'm thankful. I'm very, very thankful.
Yeah, we are as well. So yes, guys, this will be turning into the Late Night Movies show, which we're very, very excited for. And guys, as always, be sure to go check out our other different members of the Four Nerds Network. I guess if you want to check out Zebrafett, I guess. And Nicotina, I suppose, you know, he's changing his logo all the freaking time. ACS, you know, he's pretty consistent. You know, you can
hang with him. Anthony always brings the fire. I love Fire Fridays. I love being on his show. I do. It is an absolute honor. It's an honor coming on the Four Nerds whenever, you know, someone is not available, and I always take the fourth spot, even if I'm just kind of like, hey, here I am. But still, it's superbly awesome, and it's absolute honor to just be with people who just fucking just are super, super fucking cool. So thank you.
Well, we definitely tried to be. I mean, some of the Four Nerds don't necessarily meet that quota of being cool all the time.
Hey,
but,
you know what? If not, we didn't disagree, then things would just be the same old bullshit all the time, and no one would be that interested.
Exactly. That's a very good point. But I think that's a good place to end it right there. I think
I'm wine drunk as fuck, and I'm probably gonna hop on Enosh's stream as drunk as fuck too. So I don't know if you're hopping on there too, man. But like, this has been fun.
Yeah.
Late Night Pool was fun for what it was. I'm sorry Austin couldn't be here as much as he was. You know, he's very much attuned with a lot of other streams that he's got going on. I've got no hate for that guy. I think he's got a lot of love in his heart. I think he's got a lot of passion. But thank you all for tuning into the Late Night Pool. I hope you guys all tune into Late Night Movies. For me, really what Late Night Movies is going to be, it really is going to invoke like that Nick at Night kind of feeling. At least that's my hope. That's my hope. It invokes that like Nick at Night, like that Adult Swim kind of feel that you guys got. If you're ever a fan of that kind of stuff that played on those shows. I mean, yeah, I'm vulgar. I'm an asshole. I'm kind of a dick. And Axel, you know, you think I hate you. I don't, dude. But it's just like you're young and I'm old. And that's just the fucking perspective that it is, bud. You just gotta roll with the punches, man. Like I don't hate you. Just fucking understand that. But seriously, like I love this community. I love the things that have come from it. And like I gotta be honest, like last year was a fucking tough year for me. And like the last year that have been shown just like the respect and love from like Dawson and Anthony and Andre and Ryan and a couple other people that I can't think of the top of my head because I'm just too fucking drunk right now. Like, come on, guys. Like this shit's supposed to be fun, and these guys make it fun.
We definitely tried to. We appreciate you for joining in on that fun. Absolutely.
And I just try to offer an honest Wiseman's kind of perspective on someone who's been following this shit for like, 10 years, 10 to 12 years, some shit like that.
Yeah. Well, there you go. But yeah, guys,
folks, we love you. Thank you for tuning in.
You guys are awesome. And as always, stay nerdy.